Space Dandy is a comedic Japanese science fiction manga turned animated television series written by Masafumi Harada and produced by the Japanese animation studio Bones under the chief direction of Shinichiro Watanabe. Following the misadventures of Dandy, an alien hunter who is a dandy guy in space, and his search for undiscovered and rare aliens, the series was first aired on Adult Swim's Toonami programming block in January of 2014.
Yes, I knew I was saving it for a reason. Gone. Gone! Gone! The Guru-chan ramen I've carefully hoarded is gone! Gone, baby, gone!
Produced by the Japanese animation studio Bones, the series was made by their smaller studio B, a branch of the company known for making Eureka 7, Rezepon, and Mob Psycho 100. Like Sunrise Studio, another popular Japanese animation studio whose staff actually founded Bones in October of 1998, Bones is divided into 5 smaller studios which are focused on their own anime projects and categorized alphabetically. As mentioned, the Space Dandy animation was handled by Studio B and directed by Shinichiro Watanabe alongside Shingo Natsume, a Japanese anime television and film director well known for directing the critically acclaimed and commercially successful anime series Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and Carol and Tuesday. Unlike most anime, which traditionally first airs in Japan before making their way to the West/the rest of the world, Space Dandy is unique in that it first premiered in the United States before Japan on January 4th of 2014 at 11:30 p.m. ET on Adult Swim's, an American adult-oriented nighttime programming block of Cartoon Network, Toonami programming block, a block that primarily broadcasts Japanese anime with the occasional American action animation. The series only began airing in Japan on January 5th of 2014, though the independent Tokyo-based television station Tokyo MX at 11 a.m. JST, and quickly followed by TV Osaka, TV Aichi, BS Fuji, and ATX.
Who has complete control over where that episode takes the main cast.
Your next visit's on us.
You see, we may be poor as hell, but we can still enjoy boobies as long as we have this sweater puppy.
How long have you been waiting to say that?
Longer than you'd think.
The story itself has a rather simple yet equally as engaging premise. Set in a universe teeming with alien life and where space travel/spaceships are as common as cars and buses in our own universe, we follow the misadventures of the space hunter known as Dandy. A tall man with a thin yet athletic build, Dandy sports a jet black Regent Pompadour hairdo, a hairstyle stereotypically attributed to Japanese gang members or thugs, and an X-shaped mark on his chin. Much like the main protagonist of Hirohiko Araki's manga series titled JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable, named Jasuke Higashikita, Dandy's highly styled hairstyle is not only his most striking feature, but his pride and joy. Although being an excellent pilot himself, with the capacity to be quick on his feet and improvise, Dandy is joined by a robot vacuum cleaner named QT, who acts as the ship's cook, cleaner, engineer, and pilot. Despite being a small, round, and mainly yellow robot with an arguable feminine voice and name, it is implied in episode 6, The War of the Undies and Vest, Baby, that QT is considered male. After their countless journeys across space in search of unregistered alien species, the duo always ends up at the restaurant, a word used in the series that is a combination of the words breast and restaurant, known as boobies an intergalactic restaurant chain that bears a striking resemblance to the real-life Hooters chain, where the waitresses dress in a relatively revealing uniform that also shares some similarities to the attire worn by female Playboy models. During one of their visits to this restaurant, also the first episode of the series, the duo meets up with the third and final member of the crew, known simply as Meow, a nickname provided by QT and Dandy, after believing him to be an unregistered alien species due to a sticker on his cheek being mistaken for something else. Although looking like a genetically advanced cat, Meow, real name My Meow, is actually an alien from the planet Betelgeuse. Resembling a Siamese cat standing on its hind legs with large yellow eyes and a tan fur-covered body covered in various streaks of gray and brown fur, he sports a red cap, a light green sarong, a large tube length of fabric worn around the waist in parts of Asia and Africa, a brown satchel used to carry his phone, and a pair of orange nursing Crocs. This group of outlandish characters makes up the crew of Aloha Oi, a large yellow canoe-shaped spaceship with a Hawaiian-themed interior. Named after the 19th century song composed by Queen Liliuokalani, the final ruler of the Kingdom of Hawaii, the Aloha Oi has an escape/mecha pod hidden under its prow named the Little Aloha, that serves as both a primary means of escape if the Aloha Oi suffers too much damage, and is able to transform into the Hawaii Yankee, a combat-capable humanoid robot that sports a similar pompadour to that of Dandy, as well as a Hawaiian shirt motif for its body. While the series features various things from one of Shinichiro Watanabe's more famous works, Cowboy Bebop, including the intergalactic currency of Woolongs, whether or not the bizarre world and the characters of the Space Dandy series exist within the Cowboy Bebop universe is a hot topic for debate amongst fans of both series. While some fans, like Reddit users Old Red 97 and Dupa, believe that not only do they share the same universe, but Space Dandy actually takes place in the far future. Others, like Norin Was Taken, believes the series are simply creative siblings, with mere Easter eggs provided by people like Watanabe.
I found myself a nurse, and the boots are big and bouncy. They go boing, 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 and I feel it in my naughty bits.
Written by Shinichiro Watanabe and directed by Shingo Natsume, with Watanabe serving as general director, the Space Dandy series ran for 2 seasons for a grand total of 26 episodes from January 4th of 2014 to September 27th of 2014. According to a blog post from August 12th of 2014, Focus on Animation, a user named Enbu discussing the recent Okatone convention, Shinichiro Watanabe described the series as a real comedy. Bebop, for example, was 80% serious and 20% comedy. Space Dandy is the reverse. Each episode will be like the Mushroom Samba style, a famous comedic Cowboy Bebop episode, but weekly. The episode he described was the 17th episode of the science fiction anime titled Cowboy Bebop, in which the starving crew of Bebop crash land on a desert-filled planet and go on a mushroom-induced series of hallucinations and misadventures. Additionally, worried that the designs of many alien species would end up being far too similar, Watanabe made it so that each planet had only one designer, asking each one to think about and create their dream aliens for the show. With over 100 distinct alien species, the names for each episode designer was announced with each episode as it aired. As for the music of the series opening theme is Viva Tears, performed by the Japanese singer-songwriter Yasuyuki Okamura, and the ending theme is Welcome to the 10th Dimension, performed by the Japanese musical artist Itsuyuko Yakoshimaru. Initially, in the Adult Swim broadcast, instrumental tracks by Mountain Mocha Kilimanjaro were used for the sequences due to the licensing issues, but the 8th episode onward featured Yatsuyuki Okamura Viva Tears, and subsequent rebroadcasts of the first 7 episodes have the proper songs.
QT is actually the most competent of the 3 and by far the most responsible. He cleans up.
The boobies at boobies go up and down, up and down, up and down. The boobies at. Oh hey, I'm back in my own body.
Like most anime, the Space Dandy series was first an illustrated manga series before becoming an animated television series. Written by Masafumi Harada with supporting illustrations by both Park Seung-woo and Red Ice, the manga first began serialization in Square Enix's Young Kagengen magazine, a comic series that aimed at its different reader demographics in Japan with various manga series, on December 20th of 2013. The first tankobon volume, the Japanese term for a book that is not a part of a series, was released on March 25th of 2014 and was first released in the West through the American manga and graphic novel publisher Yen Press, with the very first English volume released on June 28th of 2016 and the second volume on September 27th of 2016. Besides the manga, the story and the characters of the Space Dandy series was adapted into its very own Android and iOS game titled Space Galaga. As the name implies, the game was based on the famous Namco arcade game from 1981, simply titled Galaga, and was released for Android on January 24th of 2014 and for iOS on February 6th of 2014. The app featured a Space Dandy themed twist on the classical arcade game with customizable ships, themed boss battles, alien captures, and an in-game store at Boobies, and featured small dialogue cutscenes.
So that perfect endless summer was...
I pulled it out of my butt.
Shoulda known.
That is par for the course.
If you want to watch the show in its entirety for yourself, as well as read/watch the additional content related to the series, you can find links to everything mentioned in both the description and pinned comment below. Thank you for watching. My name is May, and if you want to know more about me, check out my Twitter @cornmaze. If you enjoyed this video and would like to not only see them continue but improve in quality, consider subscribing and/or supporting us on Patreon, link in the description below.